Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our members are still coming in. We'll give them another 5 minutes to start the webinar. So we'll be patient and let's wait for another 5 minutes. Thank you. Dr. Moaz, okay, shall we start?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Moss.
Good evening, everyone.
Moss, I'll start and pass it to you.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Very good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another series of webinar organized by the MMA for its members and all the doctors in Malaysia. Today, our talk will be on the vaccination effort by the Selangor government. As we all know, over the last 2 years, COVID has become a topic in our daily life, and there's no sign the infection has been controlled well yet. As for today in Malaysia, we had 760,000 infection with a death of 5,254 cases up to today. And today alone, Malaysia registered 6,988 cases, where in Selangor alone, we had 2,885 cases, which is approximately 40% of the total COVID cases in Malaysia. Despite lots of effort by the Ministry of Health, the government, the infection rate still is, I would say, still not been controlled. And in Selangor, the biggest contributor for these numbers are the clusters from the factories or industries. Now, how are we going to control if all our efforts have not been success? So the other arm that we can look into is vaccination. As of today, Malaysia has registered that 7.1% of the Malaysian population has been vaccinated fully. Selangor, which has the biggest number, the fully vaccinated numbers are approximately 303,000. 303,000. And this is a very small number compared to the population of Selangor. Selangor currently has approximately 6.59 million people, plus approximately 1 million foreign workers. So if you go for the numbers that to hit the herd immunity that you have to vaccinate 70 to 80%, we are supposed to vaccinate approximately 5.6 million people. That is very big number, and we are far from there. Today, to speak on the effort of vaccination by the Selangor government under its arm, Cellgate, we have the MD and CEO, Dr. Muaz Omar. Dr. Muaz will describe to us in a short that how the GPs can contribute to make this Vaccine Selangor a successful program. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Muaz. To you, Dr. Muaz.
Thank you very much, Dr. Siva. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Muaz Omar. I am the Managing Director and CEO of Selangor Healthcare. Selangor Healthcare, as some of you may know, is basically a GLC of State Government of Selangor, and we are 100% owned by PKNS. And for your information, for everyone's information, Selangor Healthcare is a healthcare player. We have a chain of clinics under the brand of Selcare Clinic and the KL Clinic. We also have a couple of dental clinics as well. We have retail pharmacies. We have a home nursing setup. We have also a TPA company, which you guys, some of you may have been registered under, Selcare Management. That is all under the umbrella of Selangor Healthcare. And with regards to that, State Government of Selangor realized when the pandemic began and there is a need for State Government of Selangor to support the national program, National Immunization Program, PIC. So Menteri Besar of Selangor have decided, together with the EXCO members in the government, to procure and vaccinate as much people as possible within the limitations of the Selangor state government. For that matter, state government of Selangor have appointed Cellgate Healthcare on the 13th of March, or on the 3rd of March, to undertake this role. And of course, at the same time, Cellgate Healthcare would like to, expand the network with regards to the outlets and vaccination, to increase the vaccination rate and the inoculation rate, so as to roll out the program much more effectively. On the 1st of June, Cellgate Healthcare, through its arm, Cellcare Pharmacy, we have signed an agreement with Pharmaniaga, the sole supplier, registered supplier, product registration holder of Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine in Malaysia. And for that matter, we have tendered into the agreement to purchase and procure 2.5 million doses of vaccines. And there is a two-prong of this program, which has been officially announced by the Menteri Besar of Selangor as the program Vaksin Selangor, or it's also called Cellvax. There's two-prong efforts to this. One is Cellvax community, and another is Cellvax industry. With regards to Cellvax community, the state government have decided and list for 500,000 doses or 250,000 people of Selangorians to be vaccinated for free. This includes the B40 group, the elderly, the frontliners, among others, and a few other groups within the initiative Peduli Rakyat under the Selangor state government. And for the Cellvax industry, at the same time, this program is open for companies, industries, manufacturing companies, in construction companies, for them to participate in this program voluntarily to vaccinate about 1 million workers or 2 million doses of Sinovac vaccine. However, with regards to that, the companies, the employers who participate in this program will have to take up the cost of this. Yeah, so it's not free, because the vaccine that we procure is also through a loan given by the state government to us. So it's the whole process, administration, the service, the system, and the handling and the management of it all, there's a cost to it. However, in the program, any companies, any employers who participate in this program are not allowed to transfer that cost to their employees. So there, I repeat again, there's two prongs of this program. One is Cellvax community, which is free for 250,000 Selangorians, and Cellvax industry, which is open to the industries, not only in Selangor, not only in Selangor, to participate voluntarily. However, there is a cost to be borne by the employers. So let me try and share some of this information. I hope everyone can see.
Yeah, we can. Yes, we can.
All right, thank you very much. So, as I've mentioned, we have signed the agreement with Pharmaniaga on the 1st of June 2021 to purchase and procure 2.5 million doses of vaccines. Yeah, our intent of this program is to complement the national program through a parallel Selangor COVID-19 vaccination program or CELVAX to fasten the pace of immunization in order to achieve the herd immunity. And basically, on the CELVAX industry, we intend to protect the economy of Selangor. Yeah, and at the same time, CELVAX community, which will allow 250,000 people to be vaccinated under the state program, among others, elderly group, the P40s, and identified target groups. Among others, I will roll out for the state vaccination program or CELVAX community through mobile vaccination units, panel clinic vaccination, small, medium PPVs. With regards to the CELVAX industry, we will roll out with 3 channels: workplace on-site vaccination, panel clinic vaccination, and also medium to large PPVs. I won't bother you with regards to that, but as I've mentioned, employers shall be wholly responsible for the vaccination cost, and the employee shall bear no cost whatsoever with regards to the program. And I've also highlighted earlier, the vaccine that we're going to use in this program is Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine or CoronaVac. Let me also inform you that the whole process of the delivery will be done by Pharmaniaga. And companies for CELVAX industry can visit vax.selangkah.my to register their interest. And from there onwards, we will then further to issue the quotation and for them to ensure that make the payment before they can send their name list of their employees for the vaccination stations, and we will allocate the panel clinics and so on and so forth. I won't bother you with regards to the flow chart. However, I would like to also highlight that we are going to use the Selangkah app. Selangkah app has in its button Vax, yeah, and everyone who have been enrolled by their companies will be asked to fill in some pre-assessment and consent before they will receive their appointments. The whole other process will be almost similar to what you have possibly seen in MySejahtera as well. Yeah. And in the end, the whole documentation and data, will be shared together with KKM and MySejahtera. And at the same time, Cellgate have prepared, a vaccination compensation fund for those who have serious adverse events following immunization or AFE, up to amount of 50,000, and they have to be medically certified to have caused by the vaccination. There are also, I would like to highlight, in section 33, in brackets 1, Income Tax Act, there's tax relief and deductible for businesses as well. And for information, federal government have given the approval for the state government to procure its own vaccine for this program. So that is more or less where we are. And should I open up to questions, or Dr. Siva?
You have ended your presentation already, Dr. Moss?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, more or less. Okay, can I ask some few questions before we start moving, Dr. Moss? How the GPs who are interested in helping or to enroll in this program, how can they do this?
Right. through our TPA company, Cell Care Management, number one, all GPs are invited to participate in this program by being, firstly, a panel of cell care management. So I'm sure right now, currently in Selangor and Klang Valley, we have more than 1,200 panel clinics under the cell care management. And at the same time, with regards to the whole nation, we have almost or above 2,000 panel clinics. So I would like to open up to the members of MMA who have yet to register under cell care management to be registered under the cell care management panel clinics. From there onwards, all cell care panel clinics will be given an email to activate their membership, to activate their participation in the CellVax program. It's a simple process. The only thing after being a member, or if you are already a member of Cell Care Clinic, is just to update your latest APC, which needs to be uploaded. It's a simple process. It won't bother you too much as long as you have been registered as a panel of Cell Care Management.
Another question: if a general practitioner has been already giving vaccine under the Protect Health program, can they still enroll for this program?
There is no, with regards to cell care management, there is no impediments for us to receive any clinics, as long whether they are panel of Protect Health or not. It doesn't matter to us. However, we do need, I think, in our registration link, which will be available to everyone, is that they need to specify the quantity that they can commit to this program. Yeah, so it's a simple process. I think it's a valid request from us to ensure that we know the capacity of that particular clinic to roll out this program.
There's another question there. Why would employer pay for their workers when they can get it free from MySejahtera? From Dr. Keshaf here, our treasurer.
Agreed. There is no compulsion in this program, number one. Number two, of course, it is up to the employers to feel and think whether they require immediate and fast vaccination with regards to their companies and businesses, industries, manufacturing, construction sites, so on and so forth. So there is no compulsion. They can get free, lesser cost through PICAS program, through CIDB program. There are many other programs that's being run by different ministries. Our intent is just to fasten and expedite the inoculation process. So being the first and one of the few first private healthcare entities who have been given the approval, we would like to participate and support the program of the national program. So like I said, there is no compulsion. We would like to offer this. Of course, at the same time, the intent here is to fasten the pace of the vaccination in Selangor. And also neighboring areas, but not limited to Selangor only.
Dr. Muaz, yeah, and all the our participants today, I forgot to introduce the person with me today is Dr. Gaud. Dr. Gaud is the chairman of the Selangor PPS. If you have any questions there, Dr. Gaud, at the moment?
No, nothing. I think we answer the questions that are posed by people out there.
Okay. Dr. Muaz, can I ask you another question? Is this program open to foreign workers as well? Vaccination of the foreign workers as well?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I cannot hear you.
Is this program open to foreign workers as well? Oh, yeah. Huh? No, yeah. Dr. Moss?
Okay, if I
I
go
think we
on,
have,
sir.
I think you have a problem with your connections there.
Okay.
Okay, the question is that can this program, we can enroll the foreign workers as well?
Yes, as long as they have valid documents, passport, work permit, and so on and so forth.
Okay. And the next thing, for the interest of members of the MOAS, under the Protect Health program, the doctors have to get the vaccines, have to go to the PSV to collect their vaccines. Now, how about this cell care program? I think his side.
All right, if I understand.
Breaking. I think we have problem with Dr. Mua's internet connection there. Yeah, in Kota Damansara, Dr. Muas?
Yeah, Kota Damansara has bad.
Yeah, I understand your situation.
Okay, if I understand your question correctly, Protect Health requires GPs to go and collect vaccines at the store, at their KKM store. With regards to our program, the vaccines will be delivered direct to the clinics and GPs.
And how about the payment, Dr. Muas?
Okay, the payment with regards to the Selangor Selvax program, it'll be 18 ringgit per dose. And the rest, the consumables and all will be under the particular clinic's cost lah. Yeah. And however, I have to add, Dr. Siva and the rest of the members, that the payment will be done after every vial has been collected back. Yeah. So we will schedule with regards to where, if there is one or particular GP clinic who's participating in this program, a scheduled date to collect the vials, and after that the claims process can be done. It's all online, as our members who have run Peduli Sihat program in Selangor, they have the same process, almost similar, with regards to claims process and so on and so forth. It's all online. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Moss, there's repeatedly members have been asking. I think they are still unclear how a clinic can become cell care plus vaccine clinic to give vaccination under the cell care program. Can you repeat the steps before how we can become the vaccination center under the cell care program?
Vaccination center.
As a GP vaccination provided by the cell care now.
Okay, like I said, we invite as many clinics as possible to join and participate. There is no limitation in terms of numbers. We do not segregate in terms of areas. We even do not segregate in terms of states. So we allow that. Yeah, we allow that for them to be participating, because we have requests and companies registered in this program who are from other states as well. Yeah, so like I said, the whole intent here is to increase the vaccination rate. That's why we want to adopt an open door policy, and we'd like to invite all the GPs to be together with us.
One member has asked, saying that Protect Health is paying GPs 14 ringgit, and he asked, will Selcare be paying GPs as well? I think Dr. Moss has already answered that and said 18 ringgit, not 14 ringgit. And the other salient thing is that you don't have to go and collect vaccines from anywhere. The vaccines will be supplied to you. And I think this makes things a lot easier for GPs who want to participate in this program. And another question is, when does this program start? And one member has asked, can banks be enrolled in this project?
Yes, thank you very much for the question. We have started the trial run for the program last Saturday, 26th of June, until now. But the whole intent for running this trial run is basically to ensure the systems, the flow, the process is being tightened and strengthened. We will inform in due course to all our panel members as well as MMA when is it available for clinics to register and participate. And I think on our side also we have already approached a few to ensure that we have presence in every state. With regard to your second question on the banks, we welcome them. In fact, banks are also one of the economic frontliners as well. And we have already registered and also at the same time vaccinated several banks in the country.
Dr. Moaz, regarding the whom we are going to vaccinate, the list is given by Selcare or the doctors can choose whom they want to vaccinate?
Okay, the list will be chosen by the HR companies. Okay, meaning with regards to the companies that have registered with us, they will have a portal of their own, yeah, to decide and choose a particular clinic, GP clinic, centers, and so on and so forth, which is easiest for them to go. Yeah, and this will be conducted by the companies. I hear that there are some questions that a certain factory, yeah, or company to work with a particular clinic to be their final to be the vaccination for this particular clinic to service the company. We have no problem with that as long as they register with us and the request comes from the company themselves.
Okay. The next question is if we have the company has an undocumented foreign worker, will they be eligible for this program?
This is a problem not only to us but to everyone. We need to identify, and we need to identify in a valid manner the particular worker. Undocumented workers, however, needs to have some valid identification. This will cause further problems with regards to their second dose, for example. Yeah, and at the same time, we are accountable to whom we vaccinate, because all these names will be submitted to KKM. It's a regulation by KKM, to be submitted. Everyone who has been vaccinated in this program will have to be updated and informed. We are duty bound to inform KKM who we vaccinate. But how are we going to inform KKM when there is no documentation? So it will cause problems not only to us, but particular clinic that participates, and so on and so forth. So it's not that we want to reject them, but this is a form of regulation that has been imposed on everyone. So as long as they have valid documents, passports, work permits, we accept that.
The next question asked by Dr. Abdul Halim is, when will this program start, Dr. Moaz?
Like I said, the program have started trial run. We are now in the midst of strengthening our system, and then we will definitely in due course, I think in a not so distant future, we will inform not only through MMA, but at the same time open up to all our panel clinics as well. So in the meantime, I would like to recommend and ask members of MMA who haven't registered as Healthcare Management Panel to register with us quickly, so that we have your database, and then we will link. And once we we officially open with regards to registering the GP clinics, then everyone in the panel member of cell care management will be notified, and it's an easy process.
Someone asked whether we are free to decide on which day we can vaccinate the patients, or do we have to follow a schedule?
There is no schedule, but however, with regards to us as who manages the program, we do need to know the capacity of the clinic to roll out on a daily basis. If they can only roll out 20 doses a day, state that they can only roll out 20 doses a day. 100 doses a day, it's up to the particular clinic and how big they are, how the capacity is. So it is up to the clinic to state in the registration and the activation of this program to state their capacity so that we are able to allocate accordingly. However, the list of the vaccinees will be available to the portal, in the portal of the provider. So the provider will know beforehand and they can manage that. It's not today to be vaccinated at 2 p.m. We inform the clinic in the morning. No, it will be beforehand. Yeah, at least 2-3 days beforehand. We will definitely inform through the portal to the particular clinics.
You said that to participate in this program, the clinics will have to register with cell care. And can you give a rough idea of what are the questions that will be asked of the clinics to, to supply the answers that they will have to supply before they are authorized to participate in this program? Like, for example, you mentioned the clinics will be required to tell how many they can handle in a day. Are there any other questions that?
The other questions are similar to all other TPAs, mostly. Of course, because as much as possible, we want to run this program in a smooth manner. Internet connection is important. We also require, as per other TPAs, it has to be registered with KKM, Borang B, the valid APC, and all those. I think it's very general, except for the only, I think, difference is the capacity. And with Sinovac vaccine, it's only a normal fridge that needs to be stored. They don't need ultra cool temperature, storage for that. So it's quite easy to manage for the clinics.
Okay, Dr. Moaz, so two interesting questions here. First is how much does an employer has to offer for this vaccine? And number two is that as an employer of a foreign domestic maid, can they arrange to vaccinate in the domestic maids in the clinics under your program?
Okay, number one, the announcement of the pricing, I think, have been notified everywhere. I think it's about 350 ringgit for 2 doses. Yeah. But at the same time, with regards to the foreign maid, like I said, this is only open to companies. Yeah. If the maid is is in the name list provided by the company, we will accept as they are under the auspices of the particular company.
How about the first program, Selvax, for the 250,000 Selangorians? So how can a GP enroll their patients into this program?
Yes. Sorry, again. Sorry, can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Remember the Selvax for the Selangor people, the 250,000 that you mentioned earlier.
Right.
Can a GP register, enroll their patients into this program?
Yeah, I believe the state is finalizing the guidelines and criteria as long as they are one of the particular groups, yeah, listed in the availability or guidelines of the criteria, like B40, elderly, and certain target groups that is being identified by the um, state government. Yes, they are. If they satisfy those criteria, they are very well accepted into the program. But they do have to register with the particular state assemblyman or state assemblywoman person. Yes, so
Essentially, what you're saying is that,
please
sorry,
get in touch with the adons and penyelarats office.
essentially what you're saying is that the names of patients who come for vaccination will be provided by you and not walk-in patients.
Not walk-in patients. We do not sell over the counter. There's no.
What I mean is not selling, but walk-in B40 or elderly.
No. They have to be registered under the particular adon. Yeah. So please get in touch with the adon, and they will collect the names according to the guidelines and the requirements by the state government. At the moment, they are finalizing that as well.
Okay. Another question is that can a GP clinics charge the corporate clients for on-site vaccine?
That is not in our program. So we do not have that avenue yet. So at the moment, I would say no, and it's not that we haven't thought about it, but it's not in our current program as accepted.
If to my understanding, that it means that there wouldn't be any on-site vaccination, is it?
There are on-site vaccination, but that will be carried out by cell care clinic at the moment.
Okay. One of the questions says that one of the participants here have gone into the Selangor ad, and it mentioned there that under the Selangor app, the website says it's coming soon. GP can't register yet. So can you please explain that?
Okay, that is another of our future or soon. Once it is allowed, then we will also like to. I mean, once the government allows, then we will, also be able to procure and sell that to the clinics and the hospitals as well. But at the moment, it's not allowable.
Now, this is a very interesting question from another of our doctors. I have all the required equipments by Protect Health, like fridge, temperature data logger, but no vaccine. What about Selvax? Do you have enough stocks? I think your stocks are yet to come, right?
Yeah, I think that question is not only for me, it's also for KKM, it's also for many other countries. So it's not a local issue, it's a global issue. So yeah, like I said, we will work according to the parameters and supplies that is available to us. So of course, that is something that is out of our control. Of course, at the same time, we have signed an agreement. There is a schedule that we have agreed with. However, it also depends on the supplier and the stock that they have.
Dr. Moas, one of our doctors have applied to become the Selcare vaccination provider, I think. But they got a reply from Selcare that the panel SCVP has been closed.
I don't think that is true. It is.
It's not true, right?
It's not true. I can assure you. What maybe happen is that we are now trying to strengthen our system, trying to ensure that everything runs smoothly before we reopen. Like I said, we have only done our trial run. Yeah. So in the midst of that, we understand the actual issues, not only system, flow, not only flow, training, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Basically, the training that will be done is similar to what Protect Health has done to a lot of the GPs, and it's almost similar in the content. But with regards to the management of the vaccine, because at the moment we are only using Sinovac vaccine, so it's easier to manage that with regards to the GPs.
Can I say that once the doctors have registered to become the vaccine provider, now will there be another training for the GPs? Are you telling there's going to be another training for the GPs?
I think there will be a training for the GPs. However, the main core of the training will be more technical and more claims and how to operate the system. Yeah. But with regards to the whole process of the vaccination, we know that there is also the registration part, which will be explained clearly in the deck available to the particular GP clinics. There will be confirmation, consent taking, the vaccination process, and also the observation. So that is quite similar to all, not only hospitals, clinics, PPV centers, and so on and so forth, with regards to the COVID management, COVID vaccine management for the providers.
Can clinics prepare a backup list in case there are
No
no-show defaulters? And another question is, what is the spacing between the two doses?
Backup list, I didn't hear that question again.
Like, for example, if you send a list of patients who are supposed to turn up for vaccination and one or more don't turn up, can the doctors have their own backup list?
Right. Okay, this one will be managed together with the company HR. With regards to that, I will have to clarify that later on. Yeah, I think I'll take that note and I will ensure that the process is clear with regards to who the list can come and so on and so forth. Yeah, we will work and detail that out. The second question was about, sorry,
The spacing between the two injections.
spacing. Okay. Recommended dose for Sinovac is 3 weeks, so it's 21 days. But there is also a buffer of about another week, so 21 to 28 days. That'll be the spacing. But generally, it's 3 weeks first, and then the 21st.
In addition to what you said about the backup list for industry companies, what about if, say, a list of V40, for example, has been given to the GPs and some of them don't turn up on that day? Can other patients be substituted?
The same thing, we will clarify and notify that. Of course, at the same time, we do need the state to endorse this policy so that we can ensure that everyone understands that policy.
Dr. Muaz, before a doctor enrolls into the Protect Health program, they have some requirements, such as the twin door fridge, the temperature data logger, ice box, cool ice box, and everything. Do they have to have? Do the doctors have to have similar things before they enroll into your program?
I think it's quite general in terms of the management of the vaccine. Yes, but I don't think it is as, how do I say, more imposing or more drastic as compared to, for example, a Pfizer vaccine.
Yeah, I can understand.
So I think it's quite manageable. We think with regards to the GPs and how they manage that. I think it's going to be manageable as compared to Pfizer vaccine. There'll be some requirements, definitely. There needs to be a fridge or a cooler box, but how long that can last, yeah, and so on and so forth. We do need to have certain protocols, which we do need to adhere to.
Okay. How about the registration and the flow of the vaccination, Dr. Moaz? Can you explain something about it?
Like I've mentioned, the flow will be almost similar as what Protect Health has instructed before. There is not so much, except for maybe our registration and consent process will be a bit more faster through a combination of these two processes. Yeah, you still need to have that consent, but at the same time we combine the registration and the consent declaration and so on and so forth together in one process. Vaccination is quite standard. I think all GPs, doctors will be able to do that quite easily, and then the observation. So I think we are looking at that, 4 zones or 4, not zones, 4 processes that will be more or less be done, as accumulated into one. First, vaccination, second, and observation, third. And then the reporting and so on and so forth, if there is any AFE and so on.
Questions?
I think one particular doctor asked whether he can go to panel, say industry company and do the injections. I think you've already answered that. You said that this will be done by self-care clinics and not by panel clinics. Is that right?
At the moment, it's going to be done through us. But at the same time, like I said, if the demand for the on-site is very big, we will invite clinics to participate as well. But that one to be done at a case-to-case basis.
I think some people are still not clear about, probably they join in late, whether they have to collect the vaccine and all that. But I think you already answered. For the benefit of the person who asked the question, Dr. Moaz has already said that the vaccines will be sent to the GPs. You don't have to go and collect them.
Another interesting question, Dr. Moaz. How about drive-through vaccination? Have the Selcat thought about it?
We have that in plan, and we will roll out when there is a need and the budget for it. Yeah, we do have a serious thought about it, and we will see if we can roll out those. That's the whole intent of rolling out this kind of PPVs, is the management of it, and we have to ensure that everything is proper, and and we are able to roll out effectively. So yes, we have considered that, and if we see a need to do that, then we'll definitely.
Okay. One very pertinent question here. Will the vaccination certificate will be linked to the vaccines in MySejahtera?
Yes, Datuk Seri MB, Menteri Besar, and also YB Khairi Jamaluddin has agreed that the integration of the data is to be done. And because this program, the Selangor program, is considered as a support program for the national PIC program, so the data will definitely be shared with KKM and MySejahtera in this manner.
There are a number of things that you mentioned which haven't been decided yet, set in stone. How are you going to communicate this once these have been decided? How are you going to communicate that to the doctors involved?
Number one, through our panel clinics. Number two, through reputable organization like MMA. And at the same time, we will also inform in the media to be opened.
No, what I meant was, how do you inform the panel clinics? By email or?
Oh, with regards to that, it'll be through the system, the portal system, the portal provider that will be available. So there'll be a guide to that, and where and how to check and where to be notified with regards to the list.
Okay. We are to the final 5 minutes, Dr. Muaz. Do you have anything to add before we go off?
Like I've mentioned, this program, Vaksin Selangor or Selvax, is a support program for program imunisasi COVID-19 kebangsaan or PIK. Yeah, we would like our intent for the state government's intent is to increase and expedite the vaccination rate. And so at the same time, state government's intent is to protect the economy. No business can run effectively if there is no protection for the workers. And hence, the economy needs to survive, especially in Selangor, with the most industrialized state, to protect the economy. And we realize that industries are very important. So for that manner, within the rollout of the whole program, we'd like to invite the members of MMA as well as GPs, clinics, to participate in this program. And we hope, through the efforts of everyone, we can expedite this whole inoculation process and, protect ourselves and the public.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Moss. Actually, that's our intention in MMA as well. We want the country to be safe for everybody, and we will definitely work with the Cellcare, Cellgate, and the Selangor government to inoculate as many as people as can in the fastest time. In any ways that MMA can help, we'll be coming forward to you to offer our favor. At the same time, if the Cellcare needs anything, we are always there to help you as well. So thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
for your night today. And to all the participants who came in today, we will upload this video into the MMA website. In case you have missed the answers for the questions that Dr. Moaz have given, you can watch the video from tomorrow. Yeah, from tomorrow it will be available in the MMA website, at the YouTube section. And for all the participants, we have roughly about 322 doctors online now. We just like to inform that currently the MMA to its SCOMOS section have been fighting hard to settle the issues of the houseman, contract houseman and the MOs. For your information, approximately 23,000 doctors have been enrolled in the MOH as the contract officers. However, up to today, only about 700 doctors have got their placement as a permanent MO. There is a bleak future in case their service is not been extended, because these doctors would not have a choice of a place to do their master's program or specialize in case they are not in the as a permanent doctors. So to fight hard to make them to become permanent MOs or any other ways, avenues, the MMA likes to highlight this program at this highlights to all the doctors that we are doing our best to settle this thing in a very peaceful manner. To show solidarity to our doctors, our junior doctors, we encourage all the doctors to change their profile photos to black and white. And also on the 12th of July, what we call as a Black Monday, we would like all our doctors, if can, to be in support with our junior doctors. Please dress up in black, take a photo in black and send or put it in our websites. Thank you so much. And Dr. Moaz, thank you again to you.
And thank you, Dr. Moaz, from me.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.